Welcome back to TechniqueWOD. Today we're talking about how to get the perfect bar path off the floor. That way you can lift the most weight possible for cleans and snatches. Okay, follow me over here. First thing we need to figure out is what is actually a good bar path. It'd be a lot easier if I knew what I do with my marker. Here we go. Okay, so a good bar path, if we're looking as a vertical reference line, here's the floor obviously. If you are facing this way, then a good bar path, the bar starts right about here, say that's low shin height. The bar is going to sweep into you on the first pull, and then it's going to go away from you a little bit on the second pull, and then it's going to scoop and catch like that. That's ideal. It doesn't always happen just like that. If we don't go so extreme with it, it might go up pretty much normal and then break that vertical reference line and then catch like this. That's still an achievable lift. Ideally, it comes a little bit further into you, but that's, again, like I said, something that you probably still could catch no problem, especially if it's not at 100% of your max. If it's 80%, you can deal with little variations like that. If it goes like this, if it goes forward first, and then kind of like this, or more straight up and then kind of bounces forward like that, which is probably more common, it's very likely when it gets heavy that you're going to drop that in front of you, especially because you're going to have to jump forward to get this on your shoulders, at least a little bit. If you look at if you just watch weightlifters in general, but also if you look at the research, especially on the people that are actually winning competitions, the vast majority of the winners jump backward just a little bit. So if the bar's finishing in front of you and you jumped backward, or you're supposed to jump backward, that just doesn't mesh. If you jump straight up and down and you catch the bar right on the vertical reference line, again, still kind of achievable. The winners, I forget what the percentages are, I have to go look up the study, but it's a smaller percentage of the winners that do just that. And then the people that jump forward and they catch the bar in front of them, it's like 10%. It's like most people don't do that. On that note, those data are from people at the World Championships. Those people are lifting at close to 100% of their max. That's the time where shit falls apart. And so even though they have very, 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 very good technique, still, if you're trying to hit a new max or a world record, it's likely that those are the weights that are going to pull you a little bit out of position. Okay? So when I was just recently hanging out with Andy Galpin and Travis Mass, we're doing a weightlifting seminar together, I got the same question like 8 times in a row, and I had the same conversation all weekend long. And that question was about how to pull the bar in to the lifter. Should I be pulling back with my arms? And the answer is kind of. Okay? If we come over here, let's set this down. If we come over here and we look at what a pull should look like, let me use this one first. If I'm here and as I go through a movement, I'm here and I'm moving into that power position. If this bar is really light, sure, I can kind of pull it into me like that. If you're a person that wants to do that, a little bit of a row right at the end, and that's your style and that works for you, that's fantastic. But especially once this bar gets heavier than you are, your arms are just going to hang vertical for the most part. If I weigh 200 pounds and this bar is 300 pounds, 350 or 400, if it's much heavier than me, then me pulling it back, it's not going to move very far. Okay? The real answer there is when I'm in the bottom position, when I'm down here, I should have the center of pressure right about mid-foot, which means I'm kind of leaning forward a little bit. I have flat feet right now, but really, I can kind of go on my toes a little bit. I'm not like a deadlift. I'm not like super heel heavy from the beginning. If I'm super heel heavy right here, it's going to be tough for me to clear my knees, number one. Okay? That's probably the most important reason. But if I'm kind of mid-foot heavy, I'm exaggerating a little bit by pushing my heels off the ground, but if I'm mid-foot heavy, that's really where I need to be. And then as I stand, as I go through that first pull position, I'm going to rock toward my heels. As I move from mid-foot pressure to closer to the back of my heels, the bar is going to swoop into me. It's going to swing into me. So as I cover, So as I cover, I go from midfoot pressure to heels, okay? Because the bar wants to be over wherever my base of support is. So if my base support is on my heels, the bar wants to be over my heels. If my base support is on my toes, the bar wants to be over my toes. So I want the bar to come into me. So as I stand, keep my butt down, keeping my back at the same consistent angle throughout the whole first pull, I'm going to rock towards my heels, and the bar is going to come back into me. Okay? I'm going to end up in this power position, very heel heavy. Okay? Once I, especially at the top of the first pull, once I transition, I'm going to stay heel heavy as long as I can, but really I'm going to end up rocking toward my toes kind of at the very end, which puts the bar right in the crease of my hip, right in pockets is what a lot of people call that. You're hitting pockets right in that power position. It's right across your belt line. So the center of mass of the bar is as close as possible to the center of mass of you, which means it's not out here in front of you. If I'm here, and then as I pull through here, I rock to my toes, well now the bar's back here, my center of mass is back, and the center of pressure all of a sudden moves in front of me and the bar, which makes it possible to push the bar back into me. Does that make sense? If the center of mass of the bar is behind this kind of rocked toe position, that's going to make it where I can pull it up, and it's going to pull up into me. It's going to rock up onto my shoulders. Okay? If I stay toe heavy the whole time, and I go like this, that's where you see people go like that. The bar floats away from them. They try to jump underneath it. Inevitably, once it gets to above 50% of your max in some cases, inevitably you're going to lose that weight, and you're not going to catch it because you're trying to chase the weight and jump underneath it. It's a losing battle. So if we use that bar I was just using as a vertical reference line, right there, just so you can see a little bit easier from the side. Move this back a little bit. And you can do this yourself, of course. You should get some type of vertical reference line, have a friend hold a PVC pipe, or use a bar just like I'm doing. Get into position consistent with where the vertical reference line is. I put a line on the ground. And actually go and pop over here real quick, James. The ball of your foot is basically going to be right on the line. Okay? And then the bar is going to start. The bar is going to start over the ball of your feet. So this is going to be your start position. Okay? From there, now if we go to the side where you can see the vertical reference line, I'm doing cleans at the moment, then you'll be able to see as I stand and the center of pressure goes from midfoot to heels, the bar will rock into me. And now the bar is behind that vertical reference line. Okay. If I start with my heels on the line, my butt a little higher, and I just press through my heels the whole time, go like that. If I'm super heel heavy, line that up. If I'm super heel heavy and I just stand, it's not going to be as far back. Back a little bit. Feels funny to try to do it wrong, of course. So, point being, you want to have that first pull, your center of pressure will rock from midfoot toward your heels, and then the bar gets sucked up into you, which makes it much easier to pull the bar toward you on the second pull, which makes it a little bit easier to jump back just a tiny bit, which makes it easier for the bar to roll up onto your shoulders and to land in a full squat with that vertical torso. If something's in front of you, I tend to lean forward, both on snatches and on cleans, and I drop it in front of me. If something comes into me, it's going to roll up into me, and I'm going to land with a vertical torso or with a vertical torso for either one. So give that a shot. One more quick thought. If you want to practice this, you can always do halting snatches or halting cleans, which basically means that you're going to do a very long first pull and then stop at the top. So James, if you come again so we can see the vertical reference line here. If I set up, I'll do snatches this time. Okay, if I set up at the bottom for snatches, again, I'm mid-foot heavy, and then I go to the top of a first pull, like this. Okay, I'm almost at straight knees. My weight is super heel heavy. I'm pulling the bar back a little bit, but not a whole lot. My arms are just hanging vertically. If I shift my center of pressure back to mid-foot, the bar comes forward. If I shift super heel heavy, then it's back where it's supposed to be. Then as I shift, the bar is still behind that vertical reference line. I'm very heel heavy here. If I'm more mid-foot heavy, now it comes forward again, okay? So as you stand, you want to rock. Rocking back is what really sucks the bar toward you. You're trying to pull the bar back with straight arms, so it doesn't mean to stop doing that. You're still going to do that. But if you just try to pull it back with straight arms without rocking, it's not going to be enough. So try the halting deadlifts. Throw them into your program like you throw, snatch deadlifts or anything else. You can do 3 sets of 3, 5 sets of 3, whatever it happens to be, 70, 80, 90%, whatever you want it to be. Check that out. Let me know what you think of it. I love weightlifting, so I love getting feedback on the weightlifting videos specifically because that was my background growing up. I even did my senior project on the biomechanics of snatching back in 2006. Very cool. Okay, I'm Doug Larson. You can follow me on Instagram, Douglas E. Larson. Of course, everything Shrugged Collective. Follow Shrugged Collective on Instagram. Subscribe to our YouTube and all that jazz. You can check out the program Vault. We have 3 long-term training programs that go from almost up to 2 years for all 3 of those, plus 8 short-term programs that are add-on programs that are 3 months long, and they are made to be added on top of whatever you're currently doing. So if you're doing 5 classes a week and you want to do boulders for shoulders and get more scapular stability, etc., and have stronger, more stable shoulders, then you can do a program like that. That's one of the 8, of course. Excuse me. And then finally, you can check out my new website, douglarsonfitness.com. I have mobility and nutrition courses on that site if you want to get my thoughts in a comprehensive manner on those topics. Go ahead and check that out. I'll see you another day.
Shrugged listeners, welcome to the Shrugged Collective Program Vault. Over the last 6 years, we've been leading the charge in online strength and conditioning programming and coaching. And for the first time in the history of the Shrugged Collective, we're combining our 11 best-selling long-term and short-term accessory programs into one membership site called the Program Vault. From Olympic weightlifting to strongman, leaning out, nutrition, you name it, our 11 best-selling programs are yours for $47 a month. Get to shruggedcollective.com/vault and you will find immediate access to our 11 best-selling strength and conditioning programs.